Hello, my name is Ryan Tobar and this is the Caltrans District 7 building. The double facade of exterior functions gives the building a sense of performance while taking on aspects of its surroundings and inspiration from automobiles, in which they look a certain way to be able to perform a certain way. The Caltrans District 7 building was built by Morphosis. Well, more specifically, Tom Main. Tom Main, currently as a design director for Morphosis, was born in Connecticut in 1944, where he would pursue an education at the University of Southern California until moving to Harvard University to complete his master's. Shortly after graduating, with the help of Michael Rotondi, Morphosis came to be, meaning form or be in formation. Morphosis eventually grew to be a collection of 50 architects where interdisciplinary practice involved in rigorous design and research were able to create both innovative and iconic buildings as well as environments. But let's get back on track here. Caltrans being a business centered around creating highways, it was important to Tom Main to capture that notion of movement throughout the building's design, but as well as the connection from one place to another that highways offer. And choosing to construct this building in no other place than in the heart of LA. To understand the Caltrans District 7 building's design, it's important to understand its position relative to the sun. Comparing the shorter ends of the building, the southward facing side of the building is filled with solar panels that both protect and shade the glass while creating energy for the entire building. Whereas the northward facing side of the building is skinless, unaffected by the sun, and provides a clear view of the functions of the building. On the longest sides of the building, there is an array of hydraulic windows that open and close with the pneumatic system based on where the sun is overhead, not only providing with the optimal amount of shade and viewing, but gives the building movement in which throughout the day it appears different. The use of a very large 100 sign on the building accentuates the idea of being the epicenter of the city, and also its scale represents the ideas of Hollywood where everything is big and grand from the building to the people. To further understand other design elements of the building that Tom Main wanted to represent and how the space is experienced, we start by looking at a long horizontal light bar located on the north face of the building, where it again has its representation of movement and represents Caltrans being a company focused on the creation of freeways. At the same time, the light bar acts as a horizontal line that is on the same level as Disney, acting as a connecting link of the city. Lastly, the light bar extends past the building's boundaries, over the sidewalks, and over the edge of the building, and allows people to participate within it without actually being in it. More use of the horizontal light bars, this time on a much smaller scale, again captures the notion of movement, in this case the lights of the cars driving on a road, in which while there may be no actual moving lights, viewing the lights behind an object gives an illusion to very crowded and fast-paced movements, just like the highways of LA. The building approaches the bottom of the building, it begins to fold like some sort of clothing in which it can change but maintain its character. As it folds out, the skin becomes less of a service space and becomes more of a served space where it forms the plaza and which allows people to be between the skin and the body of the building. Connecting to the idea of what Caltrans represents one last time, the use of gray concrete and metal pays homage to freeways, which are the infrastructure of LA, and paints an image of toughness, clarity, and simplicity of the freeway system.